Hello. I could eat about 1.5 million of these.
Well, nobody's perfect.
Welcome to the It's a Drama podcast.
Daddy, I love him.
My mother thanks you.
If you can't say something nice.
All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Hello and welcome to It's a Drama podcast, back in 2021, our first episode. So excited to be here. Hello, Bri.
Hello, and we're outside, so you might hear some creaking from our umbrella as well.
We're just living it up. We're living it up. It's such nice weather in New Plymouth that we said, you know, we're going to have this new us, new year, new start, new year, new us. And we said, I know what we'll do. What we'll do is we'll make a bunch of podcasts. And it's such gorgeous weather that we said, I know, let's sit outside and, you know, like be a bit hippie-ish. So we've put the umbrella up and you might be able to hear all the traffic in the background. We're just sitting on our back deck. Look, as soon as you start recording that motorbike,
Harley Davidson goes by.
I can see Brian's toes curling.
No, we've got a noise suppression plug-in this time, so hopefully you probably won't hear it. You probably wouldn't even hear the birds singing in the background.
Reckon?
No.
And Brian's got his Ray-Bans on. You're looking a bit cool.
Yeah, and Liz has got a new pair of Prada sunglasses from her mum.
For my Christmas present. And we've got the little coffee table out here. And I'm just about to light, this is my matches, I'm just about to light a joss stick. Because why not? You know, why not light a joss stick?
Great matches that we've got. You can probably hear me chewing my biscotti that I got the other day.
All right, it's lit. It's lit. We're officially hippies sitting outside with our joss sticks and making a podcast. Oh, just wanted to say Happy New Year, and I hope you had a lovely Christmas break and lovely holidays. You know, it's quite late now. It's what's the date today? The 11th of January. So we are, Brian's lighting his joss stick. Why do you have to have everything the same as me, Brian?
Yours went out.
Why do you just, Go on then, light it.
And I've
Should
never
we
known
start
anyone...
again? Should we start again?
If you want, yeah.
Or just carry on.
All right.
Carry on, quickly, light it.
You put matches back.
No, Brian, don't go about that.
In the matchbox, and you open them up and they're black ends. Why'd you do that?
Because I want to.
Oh, these matches are not very good, are they?
Let's just stop lighting it. Okay. I wanted to talk to you about, first of all, I wanted to say thank you so much for all the lovely comments that people have left on the blog. And just, I don't know what's happened, but over Christmas, you must have just had you needed to listen to podcasts or read blog posts or something, because I had like an influx of comments, and it was just like, I was just like, oh, wow, all these people.
They weren't just comments, Liz. Some of them were like full-blown 3-page emails, weren't they?
Yeah, and I've printed a couple out, but we're going to read those, just a couple of things later on in the show. Our thing today that we wanted to talk about, you know, when you like, I don't know if you've ever started a podcast, but when you start a podcast, the biggest hurdle that you have to get over is what you're going to talk about on the podcast.
Yep.
Because you tend to think, oh, I know, let's talk about that. And then you say to each other, oh, yeah, we'll just talk about, and it's like, yeah, but will anyone find that interesting? And actually, thanks to Katie, there's a girl called Katie, and she messaged me on YouTube, I forgot to tell you this, and she said, I'm not bored. And I was like, and a thumbs up. I was like, oh, that's really nice to know. So thanks for that, Katie, because that reassured me no end. So what we thought we'd talk about today is we're just going to have a New Year's chat, actually.
Why did we talk in the podcast about being boring or something?
I don't know. I think I said, oh, I hope this isn't boring for people. And I think that's what she'd mentioned. And like, you know, she just said, oh, I'm not bored.
Oh, that's jolly nice.
It's really nice to know, isn't it? So we just said, do you know what? Let's just have a chat about being back in the new year. We'll tell you a bit about what our Christmas was like. I just want to say something about that because you might be able to relate. And then we were going to talk towards the end of the show. We were just going to talk about things that are hard that are worth doing. Okay? Yeah.
If it was easy, that was what you're saying, isn't it? It's easy, everyone would do it.
If it was easy, everyone would do it.
Yeah.
And we just want to go over a couple of things that have come to our attention over the New Year, Christmas and New Year period that are difficult, including this podcast. I feel like I'm going,
Yeah. I tell you what, if you've never done a podcast, you just have a go at doing it. And then it's, I don't know, it's a funny thing, a podcast, isn't it? just the whole thing sounds so simple, and you just record it and pop it up there. But there's so much work involved in it.
And I think people here. Okay, here we go, Len. Here we go. Before I tell you about Sonny and what a little sod he was at Christmas, look, here we go. If you think if it was easy, everyone would do it. Podcasting, you know, it is a bit of an effort to make a podcast, but it is so worth it. And it's not easy, is it?
No, because people think you just get a microphone or you just get your phone and just have a chat. But the fact is, you want quite good audio and all this stuff, and so it takes a time to get it in. And the recording of it is the easiest part. Hang
on a minute, it's taken you 2 hours to set this up outside.
Oh,
that's
it's
not
because
easy.
Sonny, we've got a little mixer, which is it's a little 4-channel mixer that you can plug microphones in, plug it straight into the computer, and it separates the channels. So you can then afterwards, if you've got the wrong volume on one of the channels, you can turn that one up, or if you have a problem, so you've got 2 separate audio tracks that you then mix together. But Sonny was at a festival at the New Year and took the power adapter for it because he'd broken the one for his camera charger or whatever it was.
Are you listening, Sonny? We're angry.
And it's just like, so I'm up in the roof space, which is probably 50 degrees up in the roof at the moment, trying to find a lead that will plug into the unit.
But anyway, we made it, and so we're here. But yeah, I suppose that was one of those things that I thought, oh, it's easy. It's, if it was easy, everyone would do it, because then everyone would have a podcast. It'd be like, I don't know, like Snapchat or something like that. It's not hard just to get your phone, is it? But it takes that extra effort. What I'm trying to say is it does take extra effort. That is one of the things I was going to talk about, but it's worth it, because when you get comments like I've just had that I'm going to read out to you in a little while, dun, 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 it's worth it. It's so worth it. And it is worth going that extra. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to be totally upfront here, Brian. I'm going to say this.
Okay.
Just before, when we were having our breakfast, I said to you, didn't I? Shall we carry on with the podcast?
We did.
Listen up, all you people who love New Zealand and dream of moving here, or even are planning to move here. 11 years ago, when we decided to emigrate to New Zealand, we'd put our papers in and everything, and then honestly, I spent months just scouring whatever I could and devouring any information on New Zealand that I could find. I was reading all the books, I was going on any websites I could find, and I was even listening to Kiwi radio just so we could get a feel of what it was like over here. And I vowed when we got over here, I'd make something for someone that just showed them what real life was really like in New Zealand. And that's what I've done for you. You're going to absolutely love this. I've created a free 5-day video guide all about moving to and living in New Zealand. Now, this guide is not your tourist guide, pretty picture-y hobbits things about New Zealand. This is nitty-gritty, what it's like to live in New Zealand, because do you know what? It's too far away. You can't come and see it for yourself. It's, you're taking a big risk. Maybe you've only been here once or twice. You want to know what it's like to live in New Zealand, and this video series is going to show you that. And best of all, it is absolutely free. Okay, you're going to love it. This is where you have to go. You can go to www.itsadrama.com/ILoveNZ. I'm going to say that again. It's www.itsadrama, so itsadrama.com/ILove, and then the 2 letters NZ. Go over there, put your email in, and I will send you 5 days of free, real life, what it's like to live in New Zealand. And I just know I'm so excited about it. You are going to love it. Let me know what you think. Okay. Shall we carry on with the podcast?
You did. Because you were going to give it up, weren't you?
I don't want to give it up because I like doing it. I love doing it, but it's not easy. It's not easy to think of things to talk about, and it's not easy to, and you're constantly thinking, oh God, is people just going to, and Katie, stand by me here, girl. You're constantly thinking, are people just going to find it boring? And it's just, I suppose it's that vulnerability thing, isn't it? That you put yourself out there and you're putting it on YouTube, which is just like the scariest place in the whole wide world.
Yep.
And you're just hoping that someone's going to get value out of it. But like I say, someone must have been listening to my thoughts today, because literally I had that conversation with you this morning, didn't I? And I was like, oh, is it worth it? What's the point? And shall we carry on? And then ping, and those 2 emails came through, and it was like someone saying to me, no, carry on. So even if there's just 2 people listening to this podcast, I hope you know that Brian was in the roof, 50 degrees, finding the lead, so we could bring it to you. Okay, so I've got to talk about Christmas. I've just got to say this about Christmas because it's been on my mind, Bri. Oh, I feel as if I'm the only one talking. Can you say something?
I'm chewing my biscotti very quietly, but you can probably hear it
chewing
on the
your
microphone.
gums?
Chewing my gums, yeah. Smacking my gums together. Yeah.
Well, this Christmas, I've got to say, you don't know what I'm going to say.
No, I haven't got a clue what you're going to say,
interested
because
for
you kept
change.
saying, oh, Sonny was a little sod, but...
No, Bri, he wasn't. That was the point. This Christmas is the first Christmas. No, actually. So, okay, here's the thing. I hope Sonny's not listening, because he's going to be really... He's a good boy.
Well, he says he wants to come back on and do a podcast. It's just that he's been too busy and...
Sonny is the sort of person that cannot hide how he feels about the present you give him. So Sonny is and if you're new to the podcast, Sonny is our son. He's 19, and yeah, he's just gorgeous. He's done podcasts with me in the past. But unlike Tessa, my daughter, who is a people pleaser like me, and if you gave her a piece of dog muck, she'd just go, oh my God, thank you, that's so nice. I've always wanted that piece of dog muck. She's like that. Sonny is he like you? I don't know. Yeah,
he's probably like me, yeah.
And you give him something, and like when you give someone something and you immediately know that they don't like it, and you're like, oh, great. And so what it's done over the years, bear in mind he's 19 and I've had this every Christmas.
Well, let's just go back to his birthday. And you bought him a bottle of aftershave.
Yeah.
Yep. And something with Sonny, he loves cologne aftershave, and he's taken an interest in aftershave, hasn't he, basically? And you got him a bottle of aftershave. Oh.
No, I didn't, Brian.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. What did I get him?
Eau de toilette? Or was it?
No, silly man. Not aftershave, not eau de toilette. Cologne.
No, you didn't get him the cologne.
I did.
And
I got him the weakest
problem.
one.
No, cologne's the strongest.
No,
parfum. Was it? Oh, that's right.
No,
it was cologne,
Brian,
wasn't it? Yeah, it
yeah.
should have been parfum.
Yeah, I didn't get him the eau de parfum. I didn't get him the eau de toilette. I got him, unbeknown to me, the weakest one.
Cologne.
Cologne. And I thought, like you've just said, I thought
Yeah.
cologne was the good one. I was like, oh yeah, he's going to love this. And he opened it and he was like, and I don't want to make him sound like an ungrateful brat, but he is a bit. Yeah. He opened it and he went, oh, it's cologne. Oh, it's really good cologne, but you just have to wear more of it because it's the weakest one. And I'm like, oh. Anyway, so imagine this for 19 years. This started when he was about 5. As soon as he could talk, you'd get something and he'd rattle it and go, oh, Father Christmas must have not read the note properly because I didn't really want this, and it's like, so we've had this for years and years. And then this year, Tessa, my daughter, gave him her present first. Yeah. And it was a mask from the $2 shop of Buzz Lightyear, wasn't it? Smiling.
With a smiley face.
With this huge smiley face, this little plastic mask that she got him for a bit of a joke. And he wore it for the entire opening of the presents at Christmas.
Yeah.
So we couldn't see his face.
It was great, wasn't it? I think that's what you should do.
It's bloody brilliant.
If we can ever say one thing that you should do, yes, for Christmas now, is buy smiley, happy faces and all put them on. Because it's just, it would be good. Send your videos in. Do it at YouTube. Just everyone's so happy with whatever present you bought them. They're just ecstatic. Oh, what a great idea.
Do you know, Bri, it made my, because normally on Christmas Day I sit there, my stomach is knotted with fear.
Your toes are going through your sandals or whatever you're wearing. And
it was just to see it. And it was like, it was just, there he was. He was happy. And you couldn't even hear what he was saying because the mask was squashed so close to his face that he was just like that mumbly voice anyway. So it's like, oh, shut up, Sonny. No one cares. You've got a happy face. You like your present. Thank you.
But he took his mask off when he gave you a present. because he'd bought presents for everyone, hadn't he? So he took it
Yeah.
off then, and then would put it back on when he got a present because it's like, oh, here we go.
Yeah. I think he knows, doesn't he? I think he
think he
knows.
does,
So
yeah.
that's it. So that's going to be the rule in our family from now on.
Get
When
the buzz, get the buzz out.
Sonny gets a present, he'll get married, won't he? And he'll just have his
Buzz
he'll have his
Lightyear.
Buzz Lightyear mask on.
Did you get a picture of that? I don't think you did
I
you?
think
No, we didn't
Tessa
want any
did.
pictures when we were
No.
opening presents, did we? Yeah.
And that's the other thing we did on Christmas Day as well, which is sort of a bit of annoying, but I turned my phone off completely for Christmas Day and Boxing Day. And so the downside was we didn't get any pictures.
Yep.
But the upside was we've talked about this before, haven't we? It just felt absolutely brilliant. I felt as if I'd been on a holiday. I just felt so relaxed and I just like the pressure was just gone.
But don't you find that though, Liz, that, even when we went to the Bowl of Brooklyn the other day, the Festival of Lights, and everyone is not in the moment, that everyone is living their life through the phone.
Yeah, well, you do.
And you
Yeah.
actually view it through the phone. And I know when we were traveling the world, we were trying to take pictures. I mean, we didn't take that many videos, did we? And we kind of regret that we didn't take enough videos. But you do get to a special place, and next minute for the next hour, you seem to be looking through the phone at what you're supposed to be looking at through your eyes, and you don't really remember it apart from the video you've taken.
Do you remember that time we went to? I can't believe how brave I was when I did that. Remember that time we went to Disneyland with the kids, and we went on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, and we got on, and there was that guy in front of us, the American. And literally...
No, I think he was Chinese.
No, he wasn't.
Was he not?
No.
Or Japanese? No?
No.
All right.
No. Oh, no, he wasn't. No, he was American because he could understand. No, because he spoke to me, so I know, yeah. And he sat there and he just had that massive phone. Do you remember?
Yeah.
It wasn't even a little screen.
No, it was a big, huge
And he held
block.
it. He was sitting at the front of the boat, because it was one of these boats that you like sit on and you go through all the water and see all the, all the things at the side.
Yep.
What's it called? That not a virtual reality thing, but
It's the
anyway, that
marionettes, aren't they? Or not puppets. Is that what you're talking about? Because it was Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah,
Everything.
anyway,
sort of,
that's-
yeah.
and he
Like
just
robotics,
held
aren't
this
they?
phone up right in my face, like right. But I was sitting behind him, and I couldn't see a thing. All
No.
I could see, because it was dark
The
in
bright
there,
screen.
and all you can see is that bright screen of his phone. And do you remember I tapped him on the shoulder? The kids were just like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you said that." I said, "Excuse me, would you mind putting your phone down and just enjoying the ride?" And he just went, "No," didn't he?
Yeah.
He went, "No." I was like, "Oh, well, all right then."
Yeah, well, it just spoils it, doesn't it? Because I mean, who is ever going to watch that? The whole
know.
idea of being there is just enjoy it, isn't it? And it's
That's what I
dark,
think.
it's
Can you imagine
grainy
if you went
video.
round-
It's
Imagine
like,
if you went round to someone's house, Brian. They said, "Oh, I know what you'll enjoy. I'll get my Pirates of the Caribbean video out. We'll have a good watch of that."
wait till you see this.
I know. Can you? That's so boring. So please, it's just like remember that. Like
Yeah.
it's boring.
Well, put it this way: we went around the world. Nobody wanted to see any of our pictures.
No,
Not even family.
no,
And they never even talk about it either. So what's the point? Don't do it.
no.
And
Exactly.
you'll never watch it anyway.
But I'm glad we did take pictures around the world, because otherwise I
know.
wouldn't be able to
Right.
have had my blog.
Yep.
Anyway, so that was our Christmas time. And then we went house sitting up in Auckland for a week over New Year, which was just gorgeous. And then we came home and we were going to go back to work on the 11th. Well, no, on the 6th or something. And it just felt, the weather here has just been so gorgeous. And it just felt like, do you know what? Let's just ease ourselves back into it and let's try and find a different way of working. I don't know if you know, some of you might know that we work from home now. We've started a couple of online businesses and we work from home. And the trouble when you work from home, we were talking about this when we were off at Christmas, is there's never a switch off point, is there?
No.
We'll do a podcast on that, actually. Let's do a podcast on the downside of working for yourself at home.
Yeah,
I know
well, it's
lots of-
mainly more motivational, isn't it, than anything
no,
else?
but it's just there's no home time, Bri. There's no like,
because
okay,
you're at home, aren't you? Yeah.
ding-a-ling-a-ling, off you go. Time's up. Close the door. Go home.
Yeah.
It
Is that what
does-
happens when you work for a job? You have a ding-a-ling.
Yeah. There's no cut-off point.
Yes, that's
so.
true.
All right. So I just wanted to. Can I just read these lovely emails?
Okay.
Because I don't normally do this, but like I say, today it couldn't have come at a better time, because like I just said, it was one of those days that I was thinking, shall we, shan't we?
Yeah,
Shall we
you were
just...
going to stop the podcast.
I was going to quit it, yeah.
Yep.
you know what they used to call me when I was little, Bri? Do you know?
Jacker and Joiner, wasn't it, or something?
Well, you've just ruined that now.
Was it the other way around, Joining and
No,
Jacking?
I was just called Jacker. It's nice, isn't it? Give you a
Mm.
bit of confidence. My granddad just used to call me Jacker. Oh, she's a Jacker. And that just means you jack it in, you give up easily. So I don't want to be a Jacker on the podcast. So okay, I had this lovely email from a girl called Amy. I think that's how you pronounce your name. It's spelt Aimie, and I'm sure there's a beautiful pronunciation of that, and I'm trying to work out how you would say it. But she just said, "Hi Liz," and this literally just dropped through today. So, "Hi Liz, I just wanted to drop you an email and say how I've been thoroughly enjoying your blog, which I've only just found. My husband Colin and I have a dream to move to New Zealand from southeast England, and we would love to start a small glamping business in the future. At first, it felt silly saying this as if it could never happen to us. And then she goes on to say that they came to New Zealand in 2019. They fell in love with it, and she wants to come back one day. And yeah, she'd signed off by saying, you know, your blog gives me so much inspiration, and I hope you and your family are enjoying your new adventures. And it's just, first of all, I just wanted to say thank you so, so much for that, because like I say, couldn't have come at a better time. And it takes a lot to sit down and write a comment on anywhere, doesn't it, Bri?
Yeah, it does.
You know, it takes a lot, but to write a lovely comment like that in an email and just think, right, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to take some time out my day and I'm going to write it, I just want to say thank you. Really, thank you so much.
Lovely. Yep.
And the second thing I just wanted to talk about, which probably we should say for another podcast, but the starting a glamping business in New Zealand. What a fantastic idea that is, eh?
Yeah, it is. I mean, you've got to get in the country first, hasn't it? And it's just when you're here, you know, once you've got your citizenship or what, well,
Your
residency or whatever
yeah.
it is, you can do what the bloody hell you want. You know, and I think that's great because, yeah,
I want to use the thing. If it was easy, everyone would do it.
Mm-hmm.
Emigrating to New Zealand, we've talked loads about that. You know, this on our podcast, and we are making another podcast in a couple of weeks about the things that we were scared about moving to New Zealand. You know, the things that scared me most and you most that might have stopped you. But I just wanted to say that it's not easy. It's not, you know, if it was easy, this country would be flooded with people.
Of course it would, yeah.
You know,
yeah, but
so it's not easy.
You know, the population has grown probably 500,000 in the last 10 years, probably. So, you know, the doors are open, and you know, we want more and more people here in New Zealand. You know, even if you doubled or tripled the population here, it would still feel, you know, kind of plenty of space still, wouldn't it?
I don't know if I want triple, Barry.
Well, it'd only be
I like
15.
I like it
it'd only
nice
be
and
15
quiet.
million, wouldn't it? Like, you know. So it's nice and quiet, like it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, it's, you know, you can come over here. They want you here if you've got the skills and you want to come over. Then, you know, what have you got to lose?
And the other thing
You can always go home.
Yeah, no. And the other thing I wanted to say as well is just that whole. I loved the way she said, you know, I feel silly saying that, because I remember when we were talking about moving to New Zealand over 10 years ago, 11 years ago now. And I remember having this dream. I'd read a book about, you know, a couple that built a log cabin somewhere, and they were like, you know, and renting out a room or doing something. And I remember having that dream and just thinking, oh, surely that would never be able to happen to us. You know, surely we wouldn't have, that wouldn't happen. Of course, we wouldn't be able to do that. And I was almost telling myself, you know, we wouldn't. And just like Amy is like, you know, she's like, and it made me feel so positive to hear that she's actually written it down and said, we want to come to New Zealand and start a glamping business.
Yeah.
Because do you know what? That might feel like a pipe dream, but that is, to me, that would be, yeah, that is a reality that you can make happen when you come to New Zealand.
Yeah.
So yeah, that just really touched me. Just feeling a little bit sentimental today.
Yeah, but you're going to, because like you said before, you know, every time we talk about doing a podcast and stuff, it can be quite a stressful day because you're trying to get energy and everything to get into the podcast and talk about stuff and do things. And if you haven't got that energy in you, it's hard to do. It's an effort. And that's what, you know, it is a hard thing to do. You know, because you're trying to talk about good things and positive things and keep the, we can all talk about the downsides, what everyone's going through at the moment. And that's just straight away, you're like, And so, yeah, and that's what we talked. We were standing on the deck, we just had some breakfast, and it was like, shall I give up? And then bang, within an hour, that happens, doesn't it?
Okay, here's my second email. And this one was just, this I could turn this into a book, so I can't read the whole thing because it's literally 3 pages long, but I've just picked out, it's from a guy called Jeff, and he bought our Living in New Zealand video guide.
And if that video guide is great, I mean, we made it, just check it out on Liz's website, and we'll leave it in the notes, but it is a great it's a great guide, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just, if you're thinking or just want to know a little bit, lift the lid on New Zealand, and not just like, like blog guides and tourist guides. It's nothing like that. It's just me and Liz with a camera going around filming stuff and talking about it.
Yeah, and we say things about, like what it's like to leave your family, and what sorts of things you should bring over to New Zealand, and what the schools are like, and what's the doctors like, things like that. Anyway, actually, while we're talking about it, should I just give it a little plug? If you if you want the free 5-day video guide, which is completely free, you just sign up for it. Just go to www.itsadrama, so ITSADRAMA, itsadrama.com/I-love-NZ. That's right, isn't it?
That's it.
I love NZ. The letters, I was going to say the numbers, the letters NZ. Anyway, so Jeff bought that course. He did he got the free thing, and then he went on and very kindly bought the New Zealand calling guide.
And it's super cheap as well.
Yeah, it is. It's like $27. It's
And it only took us 6 weeks to do, didn't
it? So we're on about 10 cents an hour.
Yeah.
He said he wants to move to New Zealand from the Netherlands, and he said our first plan was that we come to New Zealand in March for 4 weeks and go to Tauranga to see how it feels and to see if that's what we really want. But as you know, COVID is not making this possible. So now we've decided to fill in the registration form to apply for a long resident visa and go for it. I would imagine that's like a long-term visa, isn't it?
Yep.
I have to do the English test, and when that is done, we can send it in. And in the meantime, my friend Antoon is organising a paint company to give me a job offer. So this guy is a painter. And in 2 weeks,
as a decorator.
In 2 weeks I can do the test. So here we are with some exciting times. How are we doing for time, actually? Because
24 minutes.
Okay, so I'll leave I wanted to talk about, because he says about, I remember you guys talking in the podcast about when you were selling your house, and Brian saying that he would do it the same, and you saying that you would rather have kept the house in the UK for renting. And then he goes on to ask about what we would do now. And he just said, we want to thank you so much for all your inspiration and advice you give us. It's been really enjoyable and helpful watching all your videos, listening to your podcast. And we are hopeful in going forward and can't wait to drink that long glass of Pinot Gris with you guys down in New Zealand. Oh, Do you know what, Jeff? I'm going to email you back because I was doing that when I got that. I've only just got that email, but that email just made my heart sing.
Yeah.
And you...
It brought a tear to your eye, didn't it? It made the hairs on my arm stand up, and you're like, wow, there's such positivity coming out from the other side of the world.
And that's what's making it worth it. And that is why, ladies and gentlemen, me and Brian are sitting out on the deck making you a podcast this year. So, okay, so shall we wrap it up there?
Yeah,
because
2021's here. Let's hope it's a good one.
It's going to be a brilliant year. I know it's going to be a brilliant year. It is, Brian.
It will. It's just think positive. It will be positive, and it's like you were saying, as you do at the moment. It's if you think something's going to be good, then it will be good. You know, if you think it's not going to be that good, then that's exactly what's going to be.
It's always the way. It's always the way that, and that's happened so many times. So yeah, this podcast is going to be brilliant. We're going to have billions of people listening to it.
Yep.
And so no, we're just going to think really positive.
I'm just going back to Jeff and his letter. Jeff, if you need a reference for English, just say, well, we can use that letter that you've written us for a reference. Because I'm not even if you're French or Dutch. I can't remember. Where does he live?
He lives in the Netherlands.
In the Netherlands. Yeah, but he's got a house in France, hasn't he?
They tried moving to France, but they didn't. Yeah,
that's
didn't
right.
Like it.
So yeah. So hands up and a good
Hats off.
Hats off. That's what it was. I can't even speak English, and I was born there. So yeah, it's great.
Yeah, you're going to have no trouble doing your test.
Yeah.
And it's so nice as well just to hear from someone who is a tradie, and it's like,
yeah.
Do you know what? I don't think
Go
we've
the
ever...
tradies.
Yeah. We've never heard from another tradie, have we?
No.
So that's great. Okay, so thank you so much for listening, and I'm going to see you next week. I'll be here, I promise. Bye.
That's it, 27 minutes. Go steady. See you now. Bye.
Thank you so much for joining us this week on the podcast. We have loved having you here.
If you guys could subscribe to us on iTunes and leave us a 5-star review.
Oh yeah, that would be nice.
That would be absolutely amazing. And make sure to share the podcast with your friends.
And if you'd like to hop over to the blog, find one of the little boxes that ask you to drop your email. I will send you a newsletter every week letting you know when we've released our new podcast. That will go straight into your inbox. So it's www.itsadrama.com.
All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see you next week for another podcast.
Look forward to it. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.